The current state of relations between Kuomintang and the Chinese Communist Party can be traced back to a movement in 2005. A meeting in Beijing between then KMT chair Lian Zhan and Chinese President Hu Jintao, their handshake marking a shift from decades of hostility to renewed engagement. It was the first such meeting since 1945, when Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong held talks before the Chinese Civil War eventually ruptured ties between these two long-time rivals. But a reset 6 decades later. At those talks in 2005, Lian Zhan and Hu Jintao agreed on a 5-point consensus, a framework to improve cross-strait ties, included support for the 1992 consensus, reflecting a shared understanding of the One China principle. Agreement as well to promote stable relations, including steps to reduce the risk of military conflict. They backed closer economic cooperation, including direct transport links and trade. They also discussed Taiwan participating in international organizations and agreed to establish regular communication. That paved the way for the KMT-CPC Forum. Now, that's an exchange platform held almost every year, bringing members from both parties together to discuss economic and diplomatic issues. It also led to a landmark agreement in 2010, which reduced barriers to trade across the strait. Another breakthrough came in November 2015 at the Shangri-La Hotel in Singapore. A meeting between then Taiwan President and KMT member Ma Ying-jeou and President Xi Jinping, at which Ma emphasized the keeping of the status quo and Xi that both sides were part of one family. But just months later, a major shift in Taiwan's political landscape. The independence-leaning Democratic Progressive Party, led by Tsai won a decisive election victory, triggering significant deterioration in cross-strait ties. Nonetheless, then KMT chair Hong Xiu-chu and President Xi Jinping would meet later that year, Ms. Hong repeating support for the One China framework, while acknowledging that both sides had differing interpretations. Official exchanges between the KMT and China have since slowed, and party forums have come to a halt, with cross-strait relations taking a turn for the worse. China refusing to speak to the DPP, labeling current Taiwanese President William Lai a dangerous separatist. But communications have continued with the KMT, those ties cemented by a handshake 2 decades ago, testament to a shared principle of peaceful dialogue.